Hey HTDA and welcome to Techtonica. As you will see in a moment, this game is basically satisfactory but underground and with a lot more landscaping options. It also actually has a story, which is a good one, and it will be coming out in about a week when this video goes live. I've been playing in early access for a while now, and honestly I've been having a hard time pulling myself away from it. So let's start a new game and dive in.
Warning, structural integrity failing. Emergency resuscitation of all personnel initiated. Exit this facility and report to Production Terminal Lima.
So basically you wake up, you have no idea what's going on, and you've been told that you have been awoken as an emergency. There's a couple of things you can inspect, not much to go on, but
Your
yeah.
medical status is diagnostic failure. Report to medical officer for unknown.
That's not really helpful. Anyway, you can see a little bit of a preview on how this game looks. We're basically underground. There's a lot of things going on here. There's machines and stuff like that. And this is how we will be building our own factory as well. Now, I honestly initially got a little bit thrown off by the gloomy look of the game itself. But honestly, after about 30 minutes, you don't see this anymore. It's not as shiny maybe as Satisfactory, but the gameplay is really, really good. So yeah, let's continue on. There's emergency supplies. Let's pick them up from the box. You see some things that you're probably used to. Iron components, copper components. We actually have copper frames as well. It's basically Satisfactory, but it's, again, really, really good. We also get to pick up this pickaxe over here and start hacking away at the entrance because we need to get out. And there's a whole world hiding behind that. As you can see, as we're hacking away stuff, we're actually collecting some soil as well. Don't worry, this is not Minecraft. You don't have to do this a lot. Now, as I leave the compound, there will be a short story starting, so I'll just let it play and collect some resources in the meanwhile. But just look at this.
Can you hear me? Your suit can't transmit a voice or ID signal, but my sensors are indicating you're out there. First things first, check in at that production terminal. I need a second set of eyes on how badly damaged it is.
I really like the voiceover lady guiding you around, and she's basically telling us, go check this thing out. And that is exactly what we will do. So let's interact. This is basically a broken down terminal, which we can repair if we put in 15 iron ore and 15 copper ore, which we don't have, so we'll need to find it somehow.
This terminal is cooked. Mining drills were the only buildable tech I could recover. Try crafting a few with materials from some of the chests around here.
So there are some chests here that we can open, and just pressing space will empty everything out, so there's no need to manually pick things up. There's a lot of different components that we get, but it's not really interesting. You can also just explore. This game is really rewarding when it comes to exploring. There's a bed behind this building apparently. There's some more chests over here. This is actually the science that we'll need to expand further upon. More resources all around. That's the wrong button. There we go. So a lot of these plants around as well that we can pick up. We got plant matter, which is going to be our initial fuel. And yeah, we needed to craft some mining drills. So let's see. We have a crafting menu over here. There's not much we can do at the moment. This is the machine tab, and basically whenever you construct something and you need materials that you don't already have, I currently do have those materials, but even if you don't have it, will automatically queue up whatever things you need to craft in order to make the end product. So it's a really convenient way of crafting. Just gonna craft all of these because we're going to need a lot of miners, because that's where our raw resources are coming from. Now, as soon as we get our first one, what we can do is go to this iron wall. You can see it's iron because if we hack away at it, we can actually collect iron ore. This is a really inefficient way to do that. So what we're going to do is we are going to place down a mining machine. It's really, really nice. As you can see, we can put it all the way up here in the corner.
Task inbound. Mining drill. Must be built at an ore vein and fueled with plant matter.
And well, as the robot says, let's put in some fuel, and then it will start automatically mining and outputting some iron ore. Now, while the drill is doing that over here, we also have some ore over here on this side. So what we can do is make another drill like so, and maybe put it all the way in the corner as well, something like this. And this will be drilling for copper ore. Now the nice thing is, unlike Satisfactory, the plant fuel that you actually put into these machines actually lasts for quite a long time. As you can see, it's very easy to collect all this fuel. This took me only like 2 minutes, so not even that. And this will last for maybe 10 or 15 minutes before I have to refuel it, and by then, as you can see, I will have plenty more. I actually already put a lot of the stuff in the copper ore machine, so yeah, there's really no shortage of fuel in the early game. Okay, so we have all our ore, let's put it in the machine, and let's repair the terminal, and we get this nice flashy unlock saying that we have access to new technologies. And every time you do that, you get another little bit of the tutorial, the lady telling you what to do next.
Good work getting that ore plugged into the terminal, Groundbreaker. If you weren't on my crew, you should have been. For the next phase of repairs, you're gonna need a scanner. The tech for it unlocked automatically when you fix this thing, so open up your crafting menu and build one.
So I really like the voice acting, but also it's actually telling us exactly what we need to do, which is really convenient if you're a new type of player to this type of game. So we're going to make a scanner.
Task inbound. Scanner. Scan machine fragments to restore tech tree access.
So what we can do is we can actually scan all the plant life around. It's not very useful necessarily, but what it does is it actually adds stuff to your logbook. No, not that one, this one. And it tells you what you can do with it. It also tells you whether or not you can plant it and process it and things like that. And it also gives you some background on these plants. Now, it's a little bit too much to go through all of this in this video, but it's a really nice touch if you're into that type of thing. And there's a couple of other menus that will show you. So we have the journal, which is basically a quest log to see what you should be working on next. It's not too many things at the moment, but this list will get a lot longer as you continue. And we also have a logbook, which is nothing else than a way to basically repeat the things
Task
that you...
inbound. Scanner. Scan machine fragments to restore tech tree access.
If you want to listen again to whatever storyline or tutorial type of message that you got, you can. So I think that's a really nice touch as well, because it's really easy to kind of get off track at some point and kind of forget what you were doing. However, more importantly, what we can do with this scanner is actually scan old machines. And now we are scanning smelter fragments, and as soon as we've gotten 3 of those, we can now go to the technology tree, and we will have access to the smelter technology. Now, in order to unlock this, we need 8 of these purple cores. We currently only have 1, so what we're going to have to do...
Research cores required for activation of new technologies. Refer to tech tree for current core manifest.
...is make some purple cores, of course. Now, there's a lot more things to scan, so as you can see over here, there's more drills. There's also this thing over here, which is a fast inserter, which we can use to, well, basically insert items into our machines. There's also these little light sticks that not only allow us to actually make more light sticks as well, but they also add these light sticks to our inventory for every one you scan. And if you place them down like this, you can actually see these give up a lot more light than the ones that we actually scanned down, because those were broken. And of course, you can also always remove stuff and you will get it added back to your inventory. So there's no loss of materials if you remove something that you placed down somewhere that you didn't like. As you can see, there's a lot more stuff to explore. So if you move around, you will find more plants that you can gather and make sure that you basically collect all the data on this. There's probably achievements for collecting everything as well. But more importantly, there's other things on the floor like this.
Upgrade module scanned. Additional tech tiers or cores may be required. Open tech tree to review.
That will give you access to new upgrades, as you can just see that I got a couple of those.
Your mining drills won't be able to get you everything you need to build the rest of those research cores. Situations like these are why we always left chests with backup components kicking around.
Yeah, so basically what the game is telling you to do is make sure you build a little bit of everything and collect more resources as you go. Okay, so we unlocked the ability to research some cores over here. So these are the purple ones, and you can actually research 5 at a time if you right click. If you left click, you will only build 1 at a time. I'm just going to make all of these because what we want is as much science as we can in order to unlock some of those research items that we just unlocked. Now, one thing that's actually interesting about this game is that you actually need to place down these cubes in order to be able to benefit from them. So they're not going to do any good sitting in your inventory. you actually need to build these out like a building.
Research cores constructed. Smelter technology available for activation in Tech Tree.
And don't worry, you don't have to do this forever, because that would be very tedious as you need a lot of these. But for now, this is how we do that. Okay, so now we have access to some basic science. We can actually enable our smelter research by just holding the mouse button over it. As you can see, it just consumed 8 of our cores. Now we have a total of 8 left that we can use on something else if we had anything else to use them on. But of course, this is kind of the tutorial, so baby steps.
Technology activated. Proceed with construction of smelter.
Okay, so now what we can do is we can actually go to the crafting menu. We can make ourselves some smelters. And if we do that, let's make a few more actually. If we do that, what we can do is place them down like so.
Task inbound. Smelter. Supply with ore to produce ingots. Requires plant matter for fuel.
And well, as the lady said, we can get some iron ore. It's not a lady, it's a robot, but anyway. Let's put that iron ore in here and then add some plant fuel. As you can see, I collected a lot in the meanwhile, and now we have automated the production of iron ingots. Now we're going to do the same, of course, for the copper ingots. And there we go. Now it's worth noting that fuel consumption in these smelters is a lot higher than it is in the mining drills, which makes sense because at some point we're going to move away from plant fuel and into something more efficient, but for now this will do. And while I'm at it, I'm actually doubling up on the drills and smelters because, well, there's no such thing as having too much production, of course. And armed with a lot more ingots, let's go back to the main station and upgrade it once more. More flashy upgrades, yay!
Terminal upgraded. New technology and crafting schematics available.
Okay, so let's see what we got. Is there anything new we can craft over here? Well, we have belts now, which is always really good. We also have inserters and containers, all of which is, of course, extremely useful in order to automate our base building. Other than that, not anything useful. In the intermediate section, by the way, you can see all the components that we can craft. But again, most of that is actually done for you automatically, so we don't need to worry about too much. Now, one key item that we just unlocked is the inserter, and if you've played Factorio, you probably know what this is, but what this basically does is connect one building to another, or a building to a belt, and puts stuff from one building into another. So now we have the inserters automatically putting the iron ore into our smelter in order for it to be smolten. Now, what we can actually also do is make a little box, something like this. And I'll just do it like this to show you how. Actually, no, let's put it a little bit closer. I'll show you how this works, because we can do it two ways. We can put these inserters like this, and then inserters like this, and put stuff directly into storage. But what you can also do is put inserters like this, put inserters like this, and then we're going to need belts. Do we actually have belts? Nope, we don't have belts yet, so I'll just need to make some. And with those belts, you can actually connect the machines up. So the belting in this game is actually really convenient. As you can see, it's really easy to make corners and zigzagging lines with your belts. And, well, this is a very simple example of how you can also use the inserters to put stuff on belts and get it back off again.
And smelters won't make your life that much easier if you're manually running ore from one to the other. Try some conveyor belts and inserters.
So like I said before, the game is really, really good at actually giving you hints about what you should be doing. And as long as you're doing that, there should be no problem in progressing through the game, even if you're new to this type of gameplay. Now, if you're coming from games like Dyson Sphere Program, you might be wondering why can't you just put in a belt and do it like this. The simple reason is this doesn't actually work. So you do need to have the inserters. You also cannot just have an inserter put stuff on a belt and then have the belt go like this either, because it will simply be stuck on the belt. So you do need the inserters to get anything from A to B. Now, the game is really rewarding if you explore. Not only can you collect a lot of plants along the way, but you can also find more things that you can scan.
This computer has a requisition for local plant life to be delivered to a science team for analysis. It looks like the request was approved, but doing it was marked as a low priority by command, even though the request itself was marked as urgent. We didn't come here for science, but I don't remember this kind of hostility about it either. What were they doing here?
And the plot thickens. So yeah, other than giving you access to certain technologies, it also actually gives you some more background on the story. And as you can see, there's a lot of resources around here as well that you can take advantage of in case you need it. Now, this is really the tutorial zone kind of, so you don't necessarily need to develop this entire area. However, this is actually connected to all your other bases as well, so there's no downside of developing this because, well, you can always go back. Anyway, so we have the ingots we need, we have some belts that we can put in, we have some containers we can put in, and some inserters, so we can once again get a new upgrade and get access to new stuff.
Beacons are back online. Inspect the radio console right next to the screen. It'll start beeping and blinking in 3, 2, 1.
Beep beep. Yep, let's interact.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Life sign.
Access to all local facilities should be restored, including the one I've been stuck in this entire time. I've set an unlock code to the door. I've got some tech you're gonna like, and I know you wouldn't dream of leaving without me anyways.
Okay, so let's find this mysterious base. And look, it's a mysterious underground bunker with stuff we can scan, so we definitely want to do that. And let's go see what that life sign inside is about.
It's more complicated than you think. I don't know why, but these computers feel like second nature now. Sort of the opposite of what I remember being like. I'd be the one to get you out of a situation like this, instead of the other way around. But I'm not giving up. That's how I know it's still me in here. You'll see.
So we can actually go in here. We can go in here though. Now let's see what the life sign is all about. By the way, I can't actually scan any of this, and you can't actually remove any of this. A lot of these early facilities are basically set in stone, so you can't really develop this, as far as I know, yet. But yeah, kind of tied to the story. But there is something mysterious down the corridor over here.
Casualties detected.
Yep, I would say that's a casualty for sure.
What? You've never seen someone stuck inside an alien cube next to their own dead body before? Whatever I was trying to do here, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it didn't work out. Hopefully, it was worth a shot. Let's go.
Did you notice how the voice changed as soon as I actually picked these up? So she actually sounds not like she's radioing us, but that she's talking to us like she's standing next to us. Really nice detail. Yeah, I'm really getting into this game for sure, but I really like those subtle kinds of details that actually do make a lot of sense. Now, there's not really anything else we can pick up here at the moment, so we have no way to go but back. I also really like the fact that you can carry her around, so yeah, just I'm loving these little type of details, and as you can notice, I'm gushing about that a bit too much.
Stop. Scan the fragment in that cage by the stairs before we go. We'll need that tech to get out of the sector.
Okay, so there's a box over here with a lot of stuff in there, including some signs, which is always welcome. But she wanted us to scan a couple of things here. Conveyor belt Mark II unlocked. Alright, let's go back. And let's go out. There's nothing else to do here for the moment, but once we get back to the town...
Local signal deciphered. Sector headquarters. Report to production terminal radio for triangulation.
Sounds like the terminal is fully rebooted. Check the radio console again and see if the beacon it adds to your HUD gives us a clear path home.
It's blinking again.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Production terminal Victor.
Breaker, this is the time to activate the mole in your tech tree and build one. We won't be able to cut through to Sector Victor without it.
Okay, so we need to unlock the mole, which we already have enough signs for. And this is basically going to be a landscaping tool that will actually allow us to drill through walls and things like that. So that's going to be really
Task
useful.
inbound. Mole. Manipulates terrain for traversal and composition of industrial construction sites.
Let's craft one of those as well. And oh look, now we have something that can actually, well, make sure we can get anywhere. We can use them all to remove any area that we want to drill through. Let me show you an example.
Bulletin. This mall is not authorized to destroy resources, critical infrastructure, or protected environmental areas.
So what he's telling us, we can't actually accidentally blow up things like this iron ore over here. It won't allow us to. And we also can't blow up our own machines with it or destroy the buildings like, for example, the Lima over here or the bunker that we were just in. As a side note, in the meanwhile, our completely automated production over here has been yielding quite a lot of resources, so that's a really good thing. And this is just with 2 drills, 2 smelters and 1 storage unit, so if you want, you can go nuts and probably fit in like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these drills over here. And, well, as long as you have the plant fuel to fuel them, you can get a lot of resources in a pretty short amount of time. Now, I think it's a good moment to talk a little bit about the minimap, because as you can see over here in the top right, we could already see a lot of stuff, but you have actually a 3D map around you, so you can see exactly where everything is. You get this from the start, so no unlocking of things like radars and stuff like that in Satisfactory. No, you get access to this kind of basic type of technology from the get-go, which makes a lot of sense. And as you can see, you see all these green things over here. These are the small facilities that we've already been building. There's the colored things on the map as well, which are the resource. So we have this blue for iron, we have the red for copper. There's actually limestone as well that we haven't used yet. It's the yellow one over here. As you can see, there's actually some green stuffs over here as well. That suggests that that is more facilities over there. And we have some other things on the map as well that we don't know exactly what that is. So again, this game really encourages you to go and explore and find out. Now, what it allows you to do is really go exploring, but kind of guided exploring. So for example, we look at the map, we see a couple of these green marks on the map in that bunker that we were just in. Now, a couple of these boxes we actually know because we got the items out of that, but there's a couple of more boxes on the ground floor over here in this corridor where we just walked past. Now, what if we actually go down here? For example, over here in the corner, you can kind of jump down. And let's see, where else can we go down? Kind of like figuring out where to go. We need to find a way to the bottom floor. There we go. And look at that. There's another one of these beds, and there is a box on the ground floor with some iron frames in there. And then there should be another one, I believe, somewhere in here as well. So we kind of follow this corridor down here. And there we go. There's another storage box over here with some fast inserters, a crank generator, advanced circuits, basically a lot of free stuff, which is really nice and rewarding if you're into that type of stuff. You don't necessarily need these items, but it's a nice little bonus. But of course, the true exploration lies beyond this area, because this is just kind of the tutorial, and everything we need to do is behind this wall. Now, this is the end of this particular episode, so if you want to see what's behind this wall, and I really recommend that you do, make sure you join me in the next episode. I'm really enjoying this game, and if you think it looks pretty simple now, well, again, you really want to subscribe to this series and follow along with me, because there is a lot, and I do mean a lot more coming, and it scales up really quickly after this. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you're still here, you're awesome. Don't forget to like the video and leave a comment, because it does really help me out, especially at the start of a series like this. And I hope to catch you in the next one.